Not everyone will understand what I'm about to say. This message isn't for the indifferent, the complacent, or those content with the way things are. This is for the ones who feel something stirring deep inside, the ones who know they are meant for more. If you've ever felt like you were being shaped by forces unseen, if you've ever sensed that your struggles weren't just random hardships, but part of a greater preparation, then listen closely. What if I told you that every battle you fought, every moment of doubt, every sleepless night was never meant to break you, but to refine you? That what looked like rejection was actually redirection. That the weight you've carried wasn't a punishment, but a process. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared. Some of you have been questioning, searching, waiting for a sign that your pain has a purpose. This is that sign. You are not ordinary. The trials you've endured are proof of the power that resides within you. The enemy does not attack the weak. He goes after those with potential, those with destiny woven into their very existence. Right now, you stand at a crossroads. You can keep playing small, letting fear dictate your steps, or you can rise into the warrior you were always meant to be. This is the moment to break free, to step into the fullness of who you are, to shake off the doubts and claim what is already yours. You were never meant to just survive. You were meant to conquer. Do you know why the fire has been so fierce? Why the obstacles keep coming? It's not because you're weak. It's because you are dangerous. If you were insignificant, there would be no resistance. The very fact that you've faced relentless trials is proof that you carry something the enemy fears. Look back for a moment. See the battles you fought, the wounds you've endured. You should have given up by now. The weight should have crushed you, but it didn't. And that's because you are built differently. Your pain was not wasted. Every betrayal, every setback, every delay, it has all been a forging. Think of a sword being crafted. It is hammered, folded, and placed into the fire, over and over, until it is unbreakable. That is what has been happening to you. Every moment of struggle has been another layer of strength, another step toward the person you are destined to become. You have been shaped by adversity, and now the time is near for you to wield the power that was always meant to be yours. But here's the thing. Many people stop in the middle. They mistake the wilderness for the end. They confuse hardship with abandonment. But let me remind you, the wilderness is not where you die. It is where you are made. Moses didn't receive his calling in the comfort of a palace. It was in the wilderness, stripped of status and security, that he encountered God. David wasn't anointed in a throne room. He was pulled from the fields, overlooked by his own family. Joseph wasn't handed his destiny on a silver platter. He was thrown into a pit, sold as a slave, falsely accused, and imprisoned before he ever saw his breakthrough. Do you see the pattern? The chosen ones, the ones marked for something greater, are always tested first. They are put through seasons of silence, rejection, and pain. And the ones who refuse to break, the ones who keep going when everything tells them to quit, those are the ones who emerge unshakable. So now, I ask you, are you willing to endure? Because if you are, if you refuse to bow to fear, if you refuse to believe the lies that say you're unworthy, then I promise you, your breakthrough is coming. But breakthrough does not come to those who sit back and wait for permission. It comes to those who rise, even when they are exhausted. It comes to those who keep moving forward, even with trembling hands and tired hearts. You must stand firm. The enemy wants you to believe you are alone. He wants you to believe you are forgotten. But that is the biggest lie of all. You were never abandoned. You were being hidden, being prepared. A seed doesn't grow in the open. It grows in the darkness, beneath the soil, unseen. But when the time is right, when its roots are strong enough to sustain the weight of its purpose, it breaks through. And that is exactly what you are about to do. You may feel stuck in a waiting season, but let me tell you something about waiting. It's not passive. It's not sitting idly by, hoping things magically change. Waiting is warfare. It is standing your ground when everything tells you to quit. It is holding on to faith when you see no evidence of change. Think of Abraham, waiting years for the promise of a son. Think of Noah, building an ark when the world mocked him. Think of Jesus, enduring the cross, knowing resurrection was coming. Waiting is where faith is tested, and faith is the currency of the impossible. You cannot afford to let doubt steal your destiny. You cannot let temporary suffering make you forfeit eternal purpose. This is your proving ground. This is where champions are made. And let's be clear, this fight isn't just about you. There are people attached to your destiny, people you haven't even met yet who will be impacted by your victory. Your children, your family, generations yet to come. They will reap the benefits of your perseverance. Do you think David's victory over Goliath was just for him? No, it was for an entire nation. Do you think Esther stepping into her role was just for her survival? No, it was for the salvation of her people. Your breakthrough is bigger than you. And that's why you cannot quit. Let me remind you of something powerful. The enemy always fights the hardest when you are closest to your breakthrough. If things feel like they are getting worse, if the resistance is at an all-time high, that is not a sign of failure. That is confirmation that you are on the verge of something massive. The darkest hour is always before dawn, and the enemy knows this. That's why he will throw everything at you. Distraction, discouragement, fear, even people who pretend to be on your side, but secretly work against you. But none of it can stop you unless you let it. You must decide now that nothing will break you. The fire that was meant to destroy you, it will only purify you. The storm that was meant to shake you, it will only prove how unshakable you are. And when the breakthrough comes, and it will, you will stand not as the person you were, but as the warrior you were always meant to be. So hear me now. No more waiting. No more doubting. No more questioning if you are worthy. You were created for such a time as this. The world may not be ready, but that does not matter. It is time to rise, because your moment is coming. And when it does, you will not just step into your destiny, you will own it. This is it. You've stood in the fire and did not burn. You've walked through storms that should have drowned you, yet here you are, still standing. And now you stand at the threshold of something greater. But here's the truth. Not everyone will cross over. Not everyone has the endurance to withstand the process. Many stop too soon. Many let fear dictate their choices. But you are not one of them. The trials were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to reveal you. The fire didn't consume you because you are the fire. You have been refined, tested, and strengthened for this very moment. The time of questioning is over. The time of doubting is over. It is time to step forward. Do not expect applause. Do not wait for validation. The path of the chosen is often lonely, but it is always worth it. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand apart, to lead, to disrupt, to shatter limitations, and set a new standard. Look back one final time, not with sorrow, but with gratitude. Every tear, every battle, every sleepless night was a necessary chapter in your story. And now, that story turns a new page. You are no longer the person who started this journey. The weak version of you, gone. The doubtful version of you, gone. The fearful, hesitant, uncertain version of you, gone. In its place stands a warrior, a force to be reckoned with, someone who knows their worth, who refuses to be silenced, who refuses to settle for less than what they were called to do. Your destiny does not wait for convenience. It does not wait for the perfect moment. It is already here, and it is calling your name. So rise, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, now, because the world needs what only you can bring, and the time for waiting is over.